Quick reminder, hosting is computing, storage, and network that provides an environment to install or run or operate software. High availability refers to the design of that computing environment or that storage or that hosting environment in a way that tolerates change. Now, it could be change that you plan. For example, if you're upgrading a component, high availability or a highly available design would allow that change to not cause the software that's running in this hosting environment to become unavailable. Thus the term high availability. Another type of change it can tolerate, of course, which is often what we think about when we think about failure, is the failure of a given component. So yesterday we talked about load balancing. On Monday we talked about hosting. These realities, particularly load balancing, are often for scalability, which is related to high availability, but not exactly the same concept. But often when load balancing is used, it can be used to spread traffic across all working instances of the app or the hosted software. And so load balancing can also provide an opportunity to spread load out between working components. And therefore, when one of those components fail, load balancing typically automatically adapts. And so what's interesting about high availability is you have both ways that are directly related to your hosting environment of that specific software. We'll talk about one tomorrow called fault tolerance. But also there's broader realities around high availability, things like load balancing, which technically relates to that specific app, but also is a broader idea within the context of the network you're hosting that app in. So high availability really has to happen, or in order to create or host an application in a highly available way, high availability has to be thought out in various aspects of the design. So high availability allows a piece of software that's hosted in an environment to tolerate both planned changes like upgrades, unplanned changes or downtime like failures. And then lastly, we'll talk a little bit about geodisparity or geodistribution in a subsequent video, which talks about maybe a different order of the same two solutions, high availability using a network pattern like load balancing, high availability for fault tolerance, which we'll talk about tomorrow. But it also does that in a slightly broader way. So we'll talk about geodistribution also as a way to achieve high availability.